ever been to Britain or, even just seen a British film, you
Yeah.
know that stereotype, right? The grumpy Brit, always scowling, tutting at the queue.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a national pastime almost.
Right. But is there really something to it, or is it, just a funny stereotype?
Yeah, good question.
Well, today we're going on a deep dive to figure that out. See, we've got this text, grumpybrits.txt.
Okay.
It's all about this idea of British grumpiness. We're going to see if it's more than just, a surface level thing.
All right, let's unpack this.
So this text, it's not just saying Brits are grumpy, right? It's saying it's like woven into the fabric of their culture.
It is, and it's this weird mix of politeness and frustration. Like,
Oh.
imagine someone saying, dreadful weather we're having.
Yeah.
But they're saying it super politely while they're, secretly fuming about the rain.
Like while they're queuing in the rain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The text actually gives this hilarious example of a shopkeeper. Right. And he's being all polite to customers, but like under his breath, he's moaning about how long the queue is.
Oh, I can totally picture that.
It's classic. It's that grumpiness simmering below the surface.
Okay, so what's causing all this grumpiness then? I mean, is it the rain?
Well, the weather's definitely a factor, that's for sure. Nobody loves a good drizzle like the Brits.
Right.
But the text also points to things like the economy, stagnant wages, people feeling the pinch.
Makes sense.
And then there's the whole political scene. It's messy, it's confusing, people are disillusioned.
Yeah, and there's that whole work culture, the whole burnout is a badge of honor thing.
It's true. I mean, is it any wonder people are a bit,
Grumpy.
grumpy? Yeah. It's like their famous stiff upper lip is starting to, maybe crack a little.
Oh, that's interesting. For those who don't know, that stiff upper lip, that's this whole British thing, right? About not showing your emotions, just keeping calm and carrying on no matter what.
Exactly. But maybe, just maybe, all that pent-up frustration has to come out somewhere.
So they let it out as grumpiness.
Maybe. The text even suggests that it could be like a form of rebellion, like they're refusing to buy into this whole be happy all the time thing.
Ooh, I like that. A quiet rebellion of the grumpy.
Yeah. But here's the thing, were Brits always considered grumpy? Was it always part of their, national character?
Good question.
Well, the text actually says no. It says this whole grumpy stereotype is actually pretty recent.
Really?
Yeah. To understand it, we need to, take a trip through British history.
A historical deep dive. I'm in.
Perfect. So imagine it's like the medieval period. Life was tough.
Right.
People were focused on basic survival, religion, fitting into a strict social hierarchy.
No time for complaining about the state of the world. They were too busy trying to survive it.
Exactly. Stoicism was the name of the game. Accepting your lot in life, doing what you had to do.
No complaining about cold castles or, I don't know, bad loot playing.
Probably not. Then, zoom forward to the Victorian era, things start changing. Industrial revolution, cities are booming, life is getting faster, more complex.
More to be grumpy about.
You could say that. Especially for the working class. Life was rough, Poverty, terrible working conditions. There was definitely grumbling, but that stiff upper lip ideal was still hanging on.
So, they were grumpy, but they weren't allowed to show it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, jump ahead to the 20th century. Britain goes through 2 world wars. Its place in the world is changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we start to see that classic British humor emerge.
Yeah.
That dry, self-deprecating wit.
Making fun of themselves and their situation.
Exactly. It's like grumpiness mixed with humor, a way to cope with the absurdity of it all.
I could see that.
And then we get to present-day Britain, right? Economic worries, political turmoil, and that deep-rooted cultural thing of not showing your emotions too much.
So it's like all these historical and cultural threads, they've all come together.
They have to create this image of the grumpy Brit.
It's fascinating. But then this text makes us think, right? What if this grumpiness, it's not just, a personality quirk? What if it's actually a form of, resistance?
Resistance?
Yeah, they're pushing back against all the pressures of modern life.
Interesting.
But they're doing it in this witty, understated British way. Not with big protests or anything, but with a well-placed eye roll and a sarcastic comment.
It's like a subtle rebellion.
Exactly. So here's the thing, right? If we can see grumpiness as this form of resistance, what does that tell us about modern Britain? About how people are feeling? And, Could this apply to other places too? Like, are other societies dealing with this kind of like low-key grumpiness as a way of coping?
It's something to think about, for
Mm.
sure. Maybe grumpiness isn't just about bad weather or long queues. Maybe it's a sign of something deeper, a way of saying, hey, things need to change.
So the next time you encounter a grumpy person, don't just dismiss them. Think about what might be behind that frown. Maybe they're just trying to tell us something.
Maybe they are.
And that's our deep dive for today.
Fascinating stuff.
Until next time.